Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about 5 of the best Wonderkids that didn't quite make it into FIFA 21. You'll expect to see most of these in FIFA 22, so keep an eye out for some of these names on the list when you're playing it in September. So what I've done is I've loaded up a game of Football Manager, simulated 5 years into the future, and then converted the stats from Football Manager into FIFA, created the players in FIFA, and then I'll show you them as we go down the list. We're going to be beginning with a team that you probably expected to see on the list, but maybe not this player. It's the 2004 born centre-back at Borussia Dortmund, Pharrell Nnamdi Collins. So if you look at Collins's player profile page, there's one thing you'll 100% notice, and that is his pace. He has 90 sprint speed, 91 agility, 92 acceleration. It's only his strength that really keeps his overall rating down at 68. You really can't imagine if he trained his strength and maybe his composure up quite a bit, he would be in the sort of high 70s to low 80 range, and with that much pace, you just know every single person would pick him on Ultimate Team. He'd be the ultimate starting centre back, and that's why I think if he does develop, and this is after 5 years of development, he does start off with around 85 pace to start off with, so expect him to be good. He could become a very solid player, but by far he is not the strongest out of the players on this list. He's definitely one to keep an eye on, and if he does manage to get a bit stronger, to say he is 6'3", so with the right sort of development plan, you can see him filling out and being a lot more physical than he is on this. But overall, Collins is going to be a very interesting player. With that much pace, you'd probably expect him to move over to fullback or maybe a wing-back position if Dortmund ever go to 5 at the back, and I think he'd be very well suited with his height. His good defensive ability, his lack of strength would be hidden, and the absolute beast of pace merchant that Collins is. And that's why he's made the number 5 slot on this list. Moving over to number 4 on the list, we have the Japanese player Pepe. He also goes by his surname Nakai, and that's who I've put him in as on FIFA, as you can see here. And he's also got very interesting stats for someone of his age. He's 5'10" and a decent weight, and he actually has more strength than Collins in the last centre-back position. But his real standout stats are his acceleration, his agility, he's got good ball control too, his dribbling and his curve are both outstanding, and his ability to do long and short passes are almost unrivaled for a player of his age. Honestly, his stats remind me of peak David Silva, and to say that this guy would only be about 21 years old from when I've taken the stats, he is going to be a star and probably one of the best Japanese players of all time. Because the level of flair on his profile was so high, I believe it was 17 out of 20, the converter actually did say he was eligible for 5-star skills, but I only gave him 4 because I think the 5-star skill club should be a bit more exclusive. And from looking at clips, he doesn't seem like the player who would actually use too many skills in a game. But he's definitely got the ability to. He's got quick burst of pace out of any kind of dribbling and ball control, or he's got really good first touch as well. And just the passing ability. As I said, it does remind me of like a David Silva, a Juan Mata kind of player. Not quite a Luka Modric, which Real Madrid fans probably would be more interested in, just because he's not so good at actually stopping the ball going past him. He's got poor heading, his interceptions are very low, his penalties are actually surprisingly low, and he's in the low 50s for stand and slide tackle. So he's not going to stop any players getting past him, but when he's on the ball, it's going to be hard to get him off it, or he's going to offload it in a really interesting way to one of his teammates. And that's why I think he's the 4th most exciting prospect or Wonderkid that isn't in FIFA yet. Number 3 on this list is probably a bit more well known than the previous 2, is Nassir from Ajax. So this guy is eligible for both Netherlands and Morocco, I believe. He's got good skill moves, he's not very tall, he's not very strong, and he can't defend, but when he's on the ball, he is absolutely lethal. Again, he's got really good vision, really good agility, balance. His sprint speed isn't the best, neither is his acceleration, so you're not going to be able to run past players. But the level of stats that he has, dribbling, his curve is 95, long pass again is very high, his shot power is good, volleys are good. The kind of player he reminds me of is a Ricardo Quaresma type player who's insane when they have the ball. They're not so good at running with it, and they absolutely do not track back to defend. but he is going to make you chances. His long shots mean he's going to be lethal outside the box, with his curve especially being really high. His agility and his vision mean if he gets the ball, he has 1 or 2 seconds to get a pass out. He's going to find the right man, and he's going to be able to get the ball out of his feet very fast. His positioning might not be the absolute best, but again, he's only 21 when this snapshot's taken from my Football Manager save. So expect him to probably grow another 5 or 6 points and become a 85, 86, 87 rated player. And you know those kind of players get absolutely boosted stats. So don't expect his curve to go up too much from 95 if he does reach this level in real life. But expect him to be making the move from Ajax to a bigger team around the time this snapshot was taken. If he really is around an 80 rated, then I'd expect that, a Barcelona or a Manchester United have both been very keen on signing Ajax players, and he would probably fit in with their styles of play too, being good on the ball and not really requiring that much pace. So really, it's his control of the ball that makes him such a good player and makes him fit in on the 3rd spot of this list. The penultimate guy on this list, you probably might not have heard of again. I'm not sure how much hype he has behind him. I know I hadn't really heard of him before I did this list, but he plays for Manchester City, and he's a Serbian called Filip Stevanovic. So at the minute, he's on loan at Partizan back in his home country of Serbia, but his stats are really interesting. On Football Manager, I think every one of his mentals was between 13 and 17, which means he's got a really good personality, and he's going to be good mentally. He's going to have good composure, good concentration, good determination, which are all going to be very important for your attacking midfield player. Yet again, he's got really high agility. His sprint speed, stamina are both very good. Again, he reminds me a bit of Bernardo Silva if we look at him. Maybe less stamina and a bit more pace, but he's going to be good on the ball in the exact same way. If we have a look at his technical stats, again, really good curve, really good ball control, amazing dribbling, but this guy can actually finish, and his free kicks are lethal. 89 free kick accuracy is really good. That's around the level of a Kieran Trippier, and he's pretty good at free kicks. So you're going to be able to score quite a lot with this guy, especially when his composure was as high as it was, and his finishing stats are good. He's got a good amount of shot power, although it's not amazing at 71. So this guy is more of an all-round midfielder. Just like most modern attacking midfielders, he's not so good at defending, but he's like an 80 in every single stat, at least, that you'll want your attacking midfielder to be good at. Good at passing, good on the ball, and good at shooting. You can probably ignore his defensive weakness there. And that's why I think Stevanovic is the 2nd best player in terms of potential that isn't on FIFA at the moment. I really do have high hopes for this guy, and I hope he does turn out as good as this, just because he would be a very cool player to know that plays in the Premier League. If you've paid any attention to football in the last couple of years, you've probably heard of this guy climbing the ranks at Borussia Dortmund, scoring at every level. That's right, it's Yusef Makoku who is number 1 on this list. I think everyone would have probably expected this, but his stats are actually insane. So this is him at 21 years old. He's an 87 rated, which is only 1 year older than Haaland, who's already an 87 rated. So it could happen. And if Borussia Dortmund can keep Haaland, and they have this guy, honestly, they're probably going to have the best strike force in Europe for a long time. Because at this age, Haaland will be a 24-year-old and Moukoko will be 20 or 21. He's got more pace than Haaland, he's got better shooting than Haaland, he's got more dribbling. The only areas he's weaker at is shot power and his actual strength. So if we go into his stats, you can see he has 99 agility, 93 sprint speed, 86 strength, 86 stamina, 92 acceleration. He's got good positioning, good balance, reactions are good, his finishing is 91, his dribbling is 95, long shots, penalties, shot power all above 85, good at curling the ball, good on the ball. Honestly, this guy is the complete package. He can't defend, you're not going to want that from your striker anyway, so you don't need to think about those stats. But honestly, this guy is absolutely elite, and he's only 21 years old. So you can easily see him growing or maybe outpacing Mbappe on the route to the best player in the world. Just think how much this card would go for on Ultimate Team to start off with the best pace, the best agility, really good strength, really good finishing. Honestly, he should probably have 5-star skills as well, because he is actually really skillful and does use them in matches. Honestly, Yusef Makoku is going to be the best player probably in FIFA history by the time he's 20 years old. Now, when I say that, I don't mean he's going to be the best card ever. What I'm saying is he's going to have the most hype behind him. He's going to be in everyone's squad. I can't imagine he's going to be cheap to buy, but he's going to be so fun to develop. You know, a Cameroonian striker overtaking Etu, maybe getting goal records. Borussia Dortmund are also a fan favourite team, so this guy is going to be so famous on FIFA as soon as he gets added. I know he's already very famous in real life, playing for Dortmund's first team. I think he got injured towards the end of the season, so hopefully they don't burn him out, because if he does get to this level, he's going to be the ultimate player for FIFA. He's got everything you need. He's got pace, strength, shooting, agility, skills, you name it, this guy has it, and that's why he's number 1 on my list of the best Wonderkids who haven't been added to FIFA 21. Hopefully he's on FIFA 22. I'm almost certain he will be, and I think there's going to be a lot of hype around him for at least the first couple of weeks, if not the whole game cycle, where you're just going to be wanting to sign this guy, and he'll be only 31 by the time your career mode ends, which is insane. Him and Bellingham, you know, there's so much talent in this Dortmund team, it's almost unreal. So that's definitely going to be one worth trying to start off with. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you maybe learned a little bit more about some of these players that aren't in FIFA yet. Definitely check out Makoku, you know, read up on him, because he's going to be a star, so you better be informed by the time he breaks through fully. But yeah, that's all we have for today's video. If you have any suggestions for any other Wonderkids that might not be in the game, be it if they're not in the game because of their age, or if they're loaned to a country, or if they're in a league that isn't in the game, let me know, and I might make a follow-up to this with another 5 of the best. But yeah, see you in the next video. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and thank you for watching.